Today I am finally making a traveler's journal. This is something that I wanted to do for a while now. I feel like I see a lot of these videos and people using this leather-bound journal on the internet everywhere, and I really wanted a place where I could put multiple notebooks and journals together and travel with it and have a place where everything is neatly organized. I currently have a leather journal and I love it, but I want to be able to take out notebooks and put in new ones, and the one that I have right now is just pages currently bound in string inside the leather casing, and so it's much more difficult if I want to add in more pages to quickly do that, whereas this traveler's notebook would make it easy to just take out the mini notebooks and replace them. So this notebook, it's a lot more convenient, a lot more conventional for what I want to use it for. So that is why I finally pulled the trigger and I am making one. The price of like the Paper Republic is just way too high in my opinion. I mean, I get that the leather costs money, but I don't know, $150+ for a journal? I don't know. I thought that I could make more journals in $150. So that's kind of what I did. I bought leather, I bought a leather making kit and all of the tools to make a notebook inspired by the Paper Republic, because I think there's a lot of companies out there and the Paper Republic one is the one that I like the look of the most. So let's get into all of my supplies. First off, I got this leather making kit. It quite literally has everything that I need. It has the string to bind the leather pieces together. It has like the leather hole punching, needles, rulers, sewing materials. So this is the part that I'm most concerned about. Like, I think cutting out the leather and hole punching the leather, I think this is like the biggest hump that I need to get over. Like, I just need to make one and do it, and then I'll be good to make others. And I bought the leather itself. I bought it from a company called Buckle Guy. It's a United States based leather company, I'm fairly certain. The leather is so beautiful, like the color of that. This is in the color Cognac. It's kind of like a reddish brown color. I got another color in Toasted Wheat, and this is a more like brown color. You can see the difference between them. Like, this one is a little bit more red and this one is like more of a regular brown. Color Forest, it's a green color. I thought it looked very pretty. And then this one online, online it looked a lot more, like, I guess variegated. I don't know what the right word is. It's turquoise. It's supposed to be like a, I don't know. It like, I mean, yeah, kind of. It looked a lot different online. I'm still happy with it. I'm still excited to use it, but yeah. So I got 2 variations of brown and 2 variations of green. I also got some paracord in a navy blue color because I thought that might look cool. And then on Buckle Guy, you get points if you like do a survey or sign up for their newsletter, and then you can like redeem those points to get patterns that they sell. So I decided to get a pattern from them through the points, so it was like free. And you like print it out on paper and then you tape them together and then you get your journal pattern. I am going to make some modifications to this just because it doesn't have the inner string that the Paper Republic has. For the Paper Republic, there's like where you put your journals, there's like string here, and that pattern doesn't have it. So we're just going to do it freestyle. I am super excited to start. So what journals am I going to be making? One of them, I'm going to make a traveler journal for myself. And then I'm going to make a commonplace journal. I want to have a like case for it and then have like a string attachment so I can have like multiple commonplace books in this one journal. All right, so let's go to my office to start cutting and hole punching the leather. Okay, I'm gonna go with the toasted wheat color just because I don't know if I have enough of that cognac color and I might need to get some more, but I know I definitely have enough of this, and this is a very pretty leather too, so I'm gonna get started. Okay, just a disclaimer, I know I'm not using the correct tools for each part, but this worked well for me, so I just stuck with it. Currently, I am outlining and like etching in the leather of the outline of the pattern so I can go in and cut it later. Okay, here I am using an X-Acto knife to cut the leather out. This worked really well. The leather was like very buttery and soft. I will say I did see the X-Acto knife getting a little bit dull the more time I spent cutting out the leather, so you might want to switch out your blade as you go. And then here I am rounding the corners of the leather to give that Paper Republic look. It looks so good. Yay! Now I'm going to cut out like the interior leather that's going to like stitch together. I have all my pieces that go to the leather journal and the edges are a bit raw, so I'm going to go in and burnish them. Okay, I smoothed out the edges as best as I could. I think I am going to wait to hit these edges once they are fastened together, just so I can get a clean edge. Now we can start hammering in the holes on the leather and then we can stitch them together. Okay, in my kit I did get a leather hole punch outline. It was like steel and it had like prongs on it, and I didn't use it because it wasn't the correct width for this pattern, and so I individually marked the holes and then I cut them out. Okay, the outer holes are punched on all the leather and now I'm going to start stitching. I am a little nervous because I feel like I don't match up too well, and I'm hoping that I can smooth out the edges afterwards. I think this purple reddish thread is really cool, so I'm going to use that for the outside. Here I am stitching the leather pieces together. I am using what is called a saddle stitch. I just looked up a YouTube video on how to do it. It's fairly easy. The hardest part is to just try not to catch the leather when you're looping it back through. I just finished one side of my traveler journal and I think it looks really good. I'm very proud of it. I love the color that I chose. It's like a pinky purple, and I think it'll look really good once I attach the navy blue paracord. I'm going to take a break now because that was like a lot of time spent on that one side and I don't want to push myself, so I'll do the rest tomorrow. Just some progress because I actually worked on it last night. I attached this side a third of the way. I attached these two pieces together. This was a bit of a struggle. And then I, started stitching the bottom of it, and now I just have to do the side and the top this morning. And then it'll be almost completed. I'll just have to do the inside paracord where the notebooks fit. Here I am stitching the final three pieces together. At this point, I had gotten the hang of it and I was able to quickly stitch this, whereas before I was struggling a bit. So you definitely get a knack for it. Okay, this is my finished journal. I attached the two strings like the Paper Republic, so it has this detail. And now I just need to buy some journals to put in here, but I'm super excited. I really like, there's like this big pocket and then 2 smaller pockets. And I've seen people put like emergency tea bags in that, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then I have this big pocket in the back. But I think the stitching looks so amazing on this. I'm really proud of myself. And now I have this leather, and I just measured what I'm going to cut, because this one's going to be kind of like the pocket size from Paper Republic. And this is actually going to be my commonplace book where I put all my commonplaces, because I want to have multiple of them. So now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and cut the size that I want. I'm gonna keep this leather in case I want to in the future, like create a pen strap. I just don't want to get rid of it. And now I'm going to cut the height. There is my pocket-sized journal, and now I'm going to punch some holes in the top and bottom like I did on my other journal, and then attach the center strap. Again, have 2 strings that I can attach journals onto it. It has a little bit of a bow, which when I was doing the research was a good thing. It's the next day, and I kind of wanted to do a wrap up of my final thoughts and just flip through the journals to really give them justice in the morning light. It is very bright and sunny out here. For my first journal that I did, this is more of a traveler's journal. This is like my everyday, take it everywhere when I'm traveling, when I'm writing. I could put basically anything in here, from like physical media books to like junk journal or creative journals. This just holds it all. I am super proud of the stitching on this. I chose this like pinky reddish purpley thread to go with this toasted wheat leather. And then when I flip it open, there is a giant pocket on the back, and then 2 pockets, one big in the front and then 2 smaller ones on the sides. I added 2 paracord strings, and then obviously I have center holder paracord. My thoughts on making this. At first, when I was looking up the Paper Republic cost, it was like $150 for one of these, and I thought that that was way too much. But after cutting out all the leather and hand stitching it myself, I can definitely say that I think it is worth the cost. I would have to check if they actually hand stitch these. I'm pretty sure they do. That was very laborious. I have so many needle pricks and cuts on my fingers from trying to punch the holes in the leather and sewing this together that I humbled myself on that one. I definitely have beat the cost of Paper Republic just by creating these 2 journals. If we're talking about the pocket size, I would definitely buy your own leather and punch holes and create your own pocket size journal. This one was so easy. This one, where you are actually stitching the leather pieces together, that is so difficult. So would not recommend that. But I mean, if you're creative and you like a challenge, definitely. Like, that's so cool. And to say like I made this, if people ask where it's from, yeah, definitely a cool thing to have created. I'm still glad that I bought all the leather and all of the leather making kits and did it myself. The experience was so cool, and I feel like you learn as you go. Like, I definitely made mistakes with this one, and I'm definitely going to make more journals in the future. Like, I want to make one for my fiance, and I feel like that process is going to be so much easier because I have had the experience in making this one. Moving on to my small pocket-sized journal. This is what I'm going to use for all my commonplace books. This was so freaking easy to make. It probably took like 30 minutes at most to make. The worst part was trying to get the paracord through the small holes. That was it. Measuring and cutting it out was super easy. And then you just have to attach the paracord around the spine. Very simple. I would highly recommend doing this if you don't have like the budget. I will do a cost breakdown of all of like the essentials that I used when creating these journals. This piece of leather was $6. The leatherworking tool kit was $26. The paracord was $10. And that was for 10 feet of the paracord. So I did not use the entire 10 feet. I probably used like, I don't know, 3 feet. Cost breakdown for this. This leather was $36 and I didn't use all of it. I think I used 2/3 of it. So this is the cost for making this journal and this is the cost for making this journal. I understand that there is a labor cost involved. This is just for the raw materials. And here are the prices on the Paper Republic website. So yes, I did beat them without the labor costs. So take that with a grain of salt if you are making your own Paper Republic. I would say this one is definitely worth it. This one, if you're creative, then I say go for it. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I will have another video up next about what journals I am putting in here and how I am customizing each of these journals, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are having a lovely January so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.